Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Bachelor of Science Specialty Nursing Degree info session. This info session will be presented by Jen Morrison, our program head. Before we get started, the British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. Today's agenda, we're going to start with the welcome and introductions. Welcome everyone. Go into a poll, have a presentation and program overview with Jan, and then we have time for question and answers at the end. We ask that you hold off on posting your questions until the end of the session, but feel free to leave your feedback or comments in the chat. And now I pass it over to Jan.
Hi, everybody. Well, welcome to this presentation. We're going to do, first of all, a quick poll just to find out where everybody is. So, Julie, do you want to put the poll up? What province are you in? We're curious to know. Oh, everybody's from beautiful British Columbia. That's great. Okay, well, let's move along then. Next slide, please, Julie. First of all, I thought I'd just talk a bit about the BCIT School of Health Sciences. We have a huge cohort of part-time students. Basically, BCIT is one of the largest post-secondaries in BC. We have almost 50,000 students. Most of them are part-time study students, so we have about 30,000 part-time students. And the old saying was that you went to university to get a degree, but you came to BCIT to actually get the credentials so that you could get a job. And so our part-time studies programs are geared towards working professionals. Yeah, a bit about the School of Health Sciences. You know, if you have any kind of interaction with the healthcare system in BC, you're experiencing the work of BCIT students and graduates in nursing, in the labs, in imaging, areas like biomedical engineering, cardiology, occupational health and safety, and even areas like prosthetics. So our area of focus here is specialty nursing. So next slide, please. What we offer in BCIT specialty nursing are advanced certificates in specific nursing areas. So we have 8 core programs: critical care, emerge, high acuity, neonatal, perinatal, pediatrics, nephrology, and perioperative. And then we also have hybrid programs. So we have critical care / emerge, or peds / emerge, periop / perinatal. What we do then with these specialties is that students can leverage the credits they receive in the advanced certificates to apply them towards Bachelor of Science in Nursing and specialty nursing. So in addition to their advanced certificate credits, they would take an additional 33 credits of core and liberal education to total 60 credits for the degree. Yeah, here's an outline of our specialty courses and the areas. That email address down at the bottom there is quite important. If you click on that, you can pull up specific information about each of those courses. And specifically, you can, or programs, and you can look at specific courses, you can look at the course outlines, and most importantly, you will find the contact information there. Our programs are part-time, so you learn at your own pace. You have up to 7 years to complete the degree, and it's mostly all distance and online learning. So you don't have to worry about commuting to campus. It gives you flexibility to learn as you work. We also recognize that people accumulate vast amount of experience and knowledge as part of their working life. And so you can apply for prior learning assessment and receive credit for those experiences. Now, this is quite specific and unique to each person. So for example, if you're interested in critical care, you should contact the critical care program head and discuss with them if you are eligible for prior learning credit in that area. We also can arrange transfer credits. Say you've taken post-secondary level courses at other institutions and they may apply to one or more of the courses in our program. There is also a transfer credit process if they have been taken at a Canadian post-secondary. So those are two options to reduce the actual number of courses that you need to take. Fun facts, yeah. The program started in, the BSN Specialty Nursing Program started in 1997. And we actually had a few students that graduated the next year. And you think, how did they do that? How did they graduate in 1 year? Well, there was actually a program already operating through the Open University in BC. And those students transferred into the program essentially moved to BCIT, and those students transferred in. And so they graduated in 1998. We have probably over 100 students working their way through the BSN Specialty Nursing Program at this time. But of course, we have many students who are working their way through the advanced certificates. And so that's why we can say that there were 4,528 unique students studying with us in 2020. And that number of enrollments that you see on the screen there. BCIT Specialty Nursing is actually funded for 1,000 full-time equivalent students. Next slide. The practicums. Some of you may be wondering, well, okay, how would I do the clinical practicums? So the specialty nursing clinical placements are arranged at hospitals within your region. If you're not in the Lower Mainland, that can be arranged through the program to conduct your clinical practicums in your local area, and BCIT will contract local clinical preceptors so that you get that experience that you need. You do have to keep in mind that you may need to go to multiple sites, and there's obviously shift work involved. If you're all registered nurses, you know all about shift work. So yeah, if you have any other questions about how the clinical practicums are conducted, I would advise you to contact the program head. Next slide, please, Julie. Yeah. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I apply for this? So let's talk a bit about who is eligible to apply. You must be actively registered as a registered nurse in Canada. You've completed a general nursing diploma. You have recent acute care experience. You're looking to move into one of our specialties areas. And I would encourage you to go onto the specific program web pages to see if there's specific requirements. And again, if you have questions about the specialty nursing programs, contact those individual program heads. If you're wondering what constitutes acute care experience, there is a website that you can click on here that will give you that information. Next slide, please. How do you apply? Okay. After you'd reviewed the requirements, I would advise you to collect up your documents. So get copies of your transcripts and any additional documents you might require, convert them to PDFs and scan them. Then go to the application website that's listed there, where you can create your BCIT and email address. And then you'll upload your documents and apply there. And then a key point here is to monitor your BCIT email, because any letters that admission comes out saying, congratulations, you've been accepted into the program, are going to be directed to your BCIT email. And so I have had people phone me up and say, I applied months ago and I never heard from admissions. Well, have you checked your BCIT email? Oh, no. Okay. So make sure you check your BCIT email. Yeah, if you have any further questions, you can put them in the chat, or you feel free to contact me. That's my contact information there, my office hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we can, I'm happy to receive emails, phone calls. If you want me to set up a Zoom meeting with you individually to answer your questions, that's great. Sandra McIver, my program assistant, is my backup, and her information is there as well. Yeah. Here are our social media handles. So you can keep track of what's going on with the School of Health here. Now we can take some questions. Hopefully I can provide the answers. Are there any questions?
Yes, we have a question. Which of the 9 terms are the hardest?
Oh, well, most students only take one course per term. So there really isn't one term or another that's particularly harder, I wouldn't say. So I would say they're all about the same, possibly.
Thank you for that answer, Jen. We have nothing else right now, but let's just give it a minute, and maybe if anyone feels like they have some thoughts, feedback, questions, just take the next minute and put them in the chat. Oh, okay, we have one now. Do you have to apply for this specialty, or can I just keep taking the courses on my terms?
For the specialties, gosh, I don't know that answer. Christy, do you know the answer for the specialties?
I would say that some of our courses have prerequisites. So you'd have to pay attention to what you need to take in order to progress into other courses. So you'd have to keep that in mind.
I'm happy to jump in and answer that as well. Sorry, I was just attending. I'm Associate Dean for Specialty Nursing and work with everybody here on the panel. We do not have an application process for specialty nursing, but you do need to be a registered nurse to move into the specialty nursing areas and then move through this pathway that Jan's outlining. But Christy is correct. Some of them do have prerequisite courses, but there is not an application process. It's very straightforward. You just start taking the first course and continue on.
Right, thanks, Kathy. Yeah, and then when it comes to the degree component, you can take those courses at any time, and you don't have to apply. You don't have to be actually enrolled in the BSN program to take them. So that way, sometimes people will, if they're working on a specialty, and then for whatever reason, they go into a bit of a hiatus, they can actually take some of the degree level courses while they're waiting to reconnect with the program.
We have a question. What is the Sorry, one second. What is the entrance rate into the field of study following completion of a specialty?
Well, Kathy, you probably know best if you, oh yeah, I think we have like 100% employment.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very high demand roles right now. There's a large need in the health authorities for specialized nursing. And so Jan is correct. I would say pretty close to 100% are getting hired into the health authorities. And a lot of them are actually sponsored by the health authorities to go through our programs as well. So they have a job already guaranteed for them on the other end.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy. We have a couple of questions about the bachelor's, the BSN, and specialty nursing. So Jan, I think maybe it would be great if you could just describe the difference between the BSN program and this specialty nursing program.
Okay, the specialty nursing component is the clinical component. And this is how I think of it. The specialty nursing is the clinical component, and then the BSN component is more the academic courses. So the academic core, there are 10 academic courses that are required, things like health ethics, research, leadership, professional growth, teaching and learning. There is a community course, 2 community courses. So those are the required academic courses. And then the specialties are the clinical courses.
We have a question. Can you do the registered nursing at BCIT as well? I think
No,
that's probably in regards to the BSN full-time entry to practice program.
yeah,
Versus
that's the full-time BSN program. And of course, as we all know, there are no diploma nursing programs left in BC.
I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, or you need more clarity, just put it in the chat and we'll try and explain that better. And then we can put some links up to the different programs as well. We have another question. Is it possible to start taking the specialty courses concurrently while completing the BSN?
Yes, yes, it is. If you have that much time, my gosh, you're going to be an awfully busy person, but it is possible.
I will add to what Jan said as well, that we don't typically take BSN students into the specialty courses until you're in your final year of the BSN program. Sometimes in special occasions, we might allow you to take some of the specialty courses a little bit earlier, but to Jan's point, it's just a lot of work. There's a lot going on if you're in a full-time BSN program. And so the most important thing when you're taking specialty courses is that you're able to consolidate what you learned. And so if you take them too early, sometimes that knowledge, you haven't had an opportunity to apply it in the clinical setting. And so it's important that you have good, strong pathophysiology knowledge and things like that before you start moving into the specialty courses. And so you usually gain that knowledge a little bit further along in your BSN program.
What are the prerequisites for the full-time nursing diploma? So I'm just going to preface that with saying the full-time nursing degree program has its own info session and its own prerequisites that are completely unique from this set of prerequisites. So I'm going to ask if Erin or Darren could just put the link to the BSN degree full-time entry to practice program, because I think that's what this person is referencing. Put that link in the chat. So just one more time to be clear, there's 2 different BSN programs. There's one which is entry to practice, which is a full-time program, and then there's one which is a postgraduate advanced practice BSN completion program, which is what we're talking about today. Jen, I don't know if you want to articulate that differently, but that's this program. So if you're already a working nurse, if you're have completed your diploma in nursing and you want to get your degree, that's what this program and that's who this program is for. Darren, thank you, and Erin have both put in some comments in the chat and some links to clarify that. Does anybody else have any questions about the clinical, the program itself, the delivery? Okay, we have another one here from someone asking, do nursing students need to have a smart card ID like in Langara to gain access into buildings?
No. No.
And I'll give it another minute if anybody has any feedback about where you're at, if you're already a working nurse, if you want to let us know. We're doing really well for time. So we have a few extra minutes. So I'll just let everybody take a moment and think about if they have any other questions to ask Jan or Kathy, Christy, or myself. You can go ahead and put that in the chat. So 1 minute to put something in there. Otherwise, we're going to come to a close soon.
Yeah, thank you all for sitting in with us today. And like I say, if you have any questions or you need, you have questions that pertain particularly to your situation, I'm more than happy to talk to you about that.
I'm happy to answer Hannah's question in the chat. I see something new's popped up there.
Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have, the question is with regards to you are completing your BSN program and you want it at a different institute other than BCIT, and you want to take your specialty nursing courses at BCIT. And absolutely. So we have BSN students nearing the end of their programs taking from any BSN institution taking our specialty courses in their final year. And so you would be in good company with a lot of other nurses that are in the same boat as you. So by all means, absolutely.
Great question and answer. Okay, so I think that brings us to a close. Let's just, oh, okay. So I'd like to thank Jan Morrison, our program head. Again, everyone will receive a PDF of the slide deck, so you'll have her contact information in your email within the next couple of days, at least at the very least by Monday. I'd like to thank Christy Walters, who helped put this presentation together and get everything organized. Kathy Kennedy, our Associate Dean, who thankfully made it today and was able to answer a lot of these questions. And Erin, Darren, and myself, thank you to us for organizing this as well. And last but not least, to everyone that made the time to attend this session. Thank you all of the registrants. Have a great day.